Marco Strang is co-founder and CEO at Genesis Mining Group, which owns a third of Hive, a blockchain. Genesis recently invested $7 million in Vancouver-based blockchain company Hive, a company where our guest Frank Holmes is chairman of the board. So anyway, we're all friends here, okay? But we're going to talk about the bigger theme. Marco, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining my good friend, my old friend. I mean, we go back a long way. I don't mean old, Frank and me. So this volatility in Bitcoin is just, man, it is just heart-stopping. It is like stomach churning. And here you are smiling through the whole thing. How come?
Well, I mean, it's always an exciting time in the cryptocurrency world. I mean, for us, as we're long-term into this economy, this is nothing special or nothing spectacular. We're used to it, and I think it's a usual phenomenon, and volatility is nothing bad, and is something that will also has a tendency to decline as the market is growing, because everything is still at its infancies.
Right, Marco, your core business is basically you've got people who sign up with you so they can participate in Bitcoin mining. Can you give us a sort of a summary, a very brief summary of what you're doing and how it's different than the status quo?
Sure. I mean, mining is an essential part for Bitcoin and for cryptocurrencies. Miners are there to validate transactions in the blockchain. It's the big innovation behind blockchain is that you can validate these transactions not in a central way as they are, for example, done on Visa or MasterCard, but you instead can do it in a decentralized way. And that is the whole idea behind mining. So there's decentralized miners in the world, and they are validating the transactions. Mining has become a heavy industry. It went from the home miners, where people had their mining rigs at home, to right now a really heavy industry with huge mines that are very noisy and extremely warm inside, very hot inside, very good comparable to gold mining. And we are basically making it easy for everyone to participate in mining by renting our servers in our data centers and mining in the cloud.
Right. Frank, your participation, it's a fairly recent development for you that you took over the chair of Hive blockchain, which of course is the digital ledger component to this whole story. Bitcoin itself, though, I mean, 3 years ago it was $2, then it went to 300. Then all of a sudden, voila, 5,000, then 8,000, back down to 5, now 6 or something like that. Are you sure you know what you signed up for?
Well, first of all, I was trying to launch a product, and there's no way the regulatory world is going to allow a ETF for Bitcoins or Ethereum because of the concerns over anti-money laundering laws. They call it AML. And so I was really curious that the CEO of Fidelity has made a big commitment to all their employees and have $2 trillion in assets of investing in blockchain technology. And in fact, there was a Wall Street Journal story that said that she has a rig in her own office mining coins. So and they've always believed at Fidelity that their advantage has always been to be first in technology as a tool. So I thought that was interesting in learning that, and I couldn't launch a product. So along came this opportunity, and Genesis Mining is the largest animal in the world when it comes to this, and the most sophisticated. They do 10% of all Bitcoins in the world. They have 1.5 million people around the world, basically entrepreneurs using their services. They do 25% of Ethereum. They do all these other currencies, and they turn around in a partnership, create a vehicle that's public, that we will store the coins. We will mine the coins, but our coins don't have any AML issues. We just have these virgin new coins. And so it's the first public company in the world to be positioned that can go into a portfolio, that a person in the capital markets that's afraid to buy Bitcoin, that's afraid to buy an ICO, but they're used to buying stocks. There's nothing for them to buy unless they buy NVIDIA. Now they have Hive blockchain.
Marco, the mentions and the increasing familiarity that people have with Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold, this has been sped up because of issues like the abandoned, or for now, upgrade from 1 to 8 megabits. You know, basically the size and the cost, or the slowness of transaction speeds, are what limit Bitcoin's what limits its fungibility. I don't know if that's the correct term, but usability as a currency of exchange. So how do you reconcile? all
Well,
this?
I think there's nothing really to reconcile. I think there are different interests or different interest groups within Bitcoin. The ones that want Bitcoin to grow as fast as possible. The others are more conservative and try to address this issue in a more longer-term frame. I think it's very exciting to see that. I don't think it's a problem at all. That just leads to the fact that we have something which is called a fork, where basically an interest group is splitting off the main chain and making their own branch of Bitcoin, basically, and this has led in the past to Bitcoin Cash, which was done a few weeks ago, and now we had Segwit 2X, which was cancelled before the launch, and basically we saw a very strong price shift around the launch date for Segwit 2X, because the people who wanted to go for an alternative went basically to Bitcoin Cash, from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, but it rebounded again. And I think, I mean, Bitcoin is still the original, the main chain, and that is still unchanged. And it's part of the whole economy, that decisions are made in a very careful and decentralized way, and that creates also a lot of stability for Bitcoin itself.
Okay. Marco, good getting familiar with you. Thank you. I'm sure we'll have many more conversations over time, okay? But just wanted to get to know you and what you're doing. So thank you for your time.